Already from SSC level, we have idea about these two topics, right? Velocity and speed. Can you tell me which one is a scalar, which one is vector?
Speed is scalar and velocity is vector.
Yes, the technique that I told you to use to remember which one is vector and scalar is vector starts with v and so does velocity, right? So velocity is vector, scalar starts with s and so does speed. So speed is a scalar quantity. Now from here what we can say, whenever we are talking about the magnitude only, then we can say it is a speed, okay? And whenever we consider the direction also, so as you can see, to express velocity, I have written both the magnitude and shown the direction in which direction it is moving, right? But whenever we do not care about the direction, we only care about the magnitude, that time it is speed only. Achha. Now, when we are talking about velocity, if you remember in SSC level, we talked about two types of velocity, two terms of velocity. Do you remember about these two topics? Instantaneous velocity and average velocity. Now, through an example, I will be explaining this one. Whenever we are driving, we are going from one place to another place, okay? Now, in our journey, throughout our journey, our speed does not remain constant. Our velocity does not remain constant. That means sometimes we are driving at a high velocity, maybe 100 km per hour. Sometimes due to signal, we have to stop. The velocity is 0 km per hour. And sometimes it is 60, 40. So it, goes up and down. Now, if I ask you about instantaneous velocity, it is the velocity at any instant. Like if I ask you what is the velocity now, you will look at the speedometer. There is a speedometer at the in the dashboard of a car, right? So if I ask you what is the speed now of this moment, then you will tell me that okay, the speed is that the speedometer is telling me that the car is running at this moment at 80 km per hour. So the time interval for this instantaneous velocity is zero, almost zero. Like for this moment, not for even for next 1 second or next 2 seconds, what is the velocity? No, for this moment. So the time difference for this velocity is zero. Okay, why I'm saying this zero, you will understand later, no problem. But for average velocity, if I ask you what is the average velocity of your journey, then what you do, you take the total distance and divide it by total time. Total distance from starting point to the ending point and divided by time. Okay, so this is how you calculate the average velocity. So if you get the average velocity to be 60 km per hour, then we can say that throughout your journey, you maintain the average of the velocity 60 km per hour. Sometimes the velocity was up more than 60, sometimes the velocity was less than 60, but on an average you maintain a velocity of 60 km per hour. Understood? This is the difference between the average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Average velocity is for the whole journey, it is not about a moment. Okay, so the time difference or the time gap for average velocity is never zero, because you will require some time to start from somewhere and reach somewhere and go to your destination, right? So the main difference here that I want to mention is the time difference. In case of average velocity, it is not zero, but instantaneous velocity, if the time difference is closer to zero, the better. Okay, now if I ask you what is the instantaneous velocity and you take 1 second time to tell me the velocity, within this 1 second the velocity may change. It is possible, right? Whenever you are accelerating, In every second, the velocity changes. So that is why the instantaneous velocity, if you want to give me the correct value, the time interval must be closer to zero, very closer to zero. Now it cannot be exactly zero. Why? Because whenever I'm asking, you will require some nanosecond at least to tell me the answer, right or wrong. You will look at the speedometer and tell me. So like that, the time interval, it's better if it approaches zero, but it cannot be exactly zero. We know that, right? So kindly keep this, concept in your mind so that whenever I go through the page, lines of the book, you understand whatever I'm saying. Okay. Let's go through the book now. Take a look at the definition of average velocity. At any time interval, the displacement of an object in an average of 1 second is called average velocity. Now, why they are saying it is 1 second? Because whenever I say average velocity, let us say the average velocity, let us say I got 5 meter per second. So whenever I'm saying or expressing the average velocity, I am saying per second. That means in 1 second, how much distance it has covered. In 1 second, it is going 5 meter. In next 1 second, it will go again another 5 meter. Okay. So whenever, do not think that within 1 second we started our journey and reached our destination. No, it might take 60 seconds, 80 seconds, 130 seconds, 1 crore second, doesn't matter. But whenever we will get the result of average velocity, what we do? Total distance. We take the total distance and divide it by total time, right? Okay, so from here, it's possible to get a value like this. So every time I express the average velocity, I say 5 meter per second. In 1 second, how much I'm going, okay? Achha. So actually, the equations here that are written, it will be somehow related to calculus, okay? So do not be demotivated that you didn't study calculus, so you will not understand. I will try to make it as much as comprehensible to you. All you need to do is just pay attention to whatever I say and try to understand, okay? Inshallah, it will be easy for you. No worries. Okay, for average velocity, the equation is like this. V, vector quantity. So we put an arrow mark over it. You will notice that there is another line drawn over this V. That one shows the average. It is called bar. V bar. Okay. I think you already know this. So this is delta R divided by delta T. Now why delta R? Because if you remember, this is something related to position vector, the change of position. Okay. So if the body is at A, this is I initial. From A, it is moving to B. This is the displacement, right? This is RF. Now, if I want to find out the change of position, in the last class when I discussed about this position vector, I showed you that delta R is equal to Ri minus Rf, right? So this delta R is the displacement. So displacement divided by the time taken, the time interval, delta O. I don't know whether you are familiar with this triangular sign or not. This triangular sign is called delta. Now what does delta represent? Delta represents change of something. So delta means change of, R means position vector. So change of position vector. Delta T. Delta means change of, T means time. So change of time. Okay. So distance divided by time. Okay. Now, this delta is used when the distance is a large amount, okay, or a significant amount. Whenever we will consider a very small amount of time, that time we will use D. That one we are going to see when we will discuss the instantaneous velocity, okay? Let's go through. Okay. So I have explained, this is the equation 3.3. This is the equation 3.3, okay? To indicate average, bar sign is used on any symbol. We know that, right? Whenever we find out the mean or average, we use this bar sign. Achha. Okay. Now they have said in case of one-dimensional motion, if it is one-dimensional motion, then we know that the body can move only along x-axis. So that time delta r will become delta x. Okay, because only x-axis barabar it can move. The average velocity indicates how fast an object is moving in which direction in a fixed interval of time. Now we shall define velocity. Achha, now we are going to see the definition of instantaneous velocity. Okay, if the time interval approaches zero, see the first condition is the time interval should be closer to zero, as much closer to zero as possible. Okay, the more closer to zero, the better. Okay, so if the time interval approaches zero, the rate of change of displacement with time is called the velocity or instantaneous velocity. So here, actually, we will keep the same equation. See, for instantaneous velocity, we will keep the same equation. The only, oh, this is not the average velocity, so bar will not be there anymore. So this delta r by delta t is going to be there, but we are going to apply a condition, a limiting condition. That one we represent by lim del t tends to 0. Okay. Now this is the extra condition that we're imposing in case of instantaneous velocity. So this is a limit. In short, we write it lim, lim. And what is that limit? What is the condition? That delta t, the time interval, should be closer to 0. You will see that when the time interval is 0, we write equal to 0. But here the time interval cannot be equal to 0, which I already explained. That is why they have said it tends to 0. This arrow mark represents tends to. Now, what is the meaning of tends to? That means it is almost 0, but not 0. If you remember, I gave you an example of this tends to, that let us say I am at a 16-meter distance from the wall. In every second, I am covering the half of the remaining distance. In every second, I am covering half of the remaining distance. So, in how many seconds I will be able to reach it? Can anybody find out? Morshed? King Morshed, can you tell me in how many seconds I will be able to reach the wall exactly? I am at the wall. The distance between me and the wall is 0. That time I can say I have reached the wall, right? So when I will be able to reach the wall?
Sir, question ta ki chilo?
The question is, I am at 16-meter distance from the wall. There is a wall, okay, in front of me, and I am at a 16-meter distance from it. Every second, I am covering half of the remaining distance. That means, in first second, I will cover. See, now the distance between me and
2 seconds lagbe.
2 seconds. No. This is what our general sense says, but this is not correct. Why? Listen to my question carefully. I am saying in every second I will cover half of the remaining distance. So now the remaining
1.5.
Listen to
cover hobe na.
Huh?
তো একটু বাকি থাকবে কিন্তু কভার হবে না।
Very good.
হাফ হতেই থাকবে।
Shiham, did you find the answer just now or new from before?
New from before.
Okay. Did I discuss this in your class?
No.
Okay. Anyway, that is the correct answer. We will never be able to reach the wall. Why? Because now the distance between me and wall is 16 meters. So I will cover half of it. So I will cover 8 meters. The 8 meter will be remaining. Half of the remaining, then the half of the left 8 meter is 4 meters. So in the next second I will go 4 meters. So 4 meter will be left. In the next second I will cover half of the 4 meter, that is 2 meters. So another 2 meter will be left. In the next second I will cover half of the remaining 2 meters. So I will go 1 meter. Another 1 meter will be left. Then in the next second I will cover half of the 1 meter, that is 50 centimeters. Right? So likewise I will keep on dividing the remaining distance until the remaining distance becomes 0. You will never going to get the answer as 0. So you see, every time you are dividing a number, it will become smaller, and it will become closer to 0. But exactly 0 you will never get, because always you are dividing a particular number. You are dividing a particular number by 2. So if that particular number is not 0, then the answer you are not going to get 0. So as a result, you can never say that you have reached the wall. But if you keep on advancing and in every second you are getting closer and closer to wall, so at one point you will see that you are almost at the wall, but mathematically you cannot say that you have reached the wall. Now this is what tends to mean, okay, that almost you are there, but you cannot say that you reached. Okay, so here del t tends to 0, that means the time interval will almost approach 0, but actually it will never be 0. Do you understand my point now? Nobody understood? Nobody is responding?
Yes.
সাদিয়া বুঝতে পারছো?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
মোর্শেদ, সাইফুল, শিহাম, নুরনবী, তানজিমুল দ্য গ্রেট তো নাই?
জি স্যার বুঝছি।
স্যার বুঝছি।
আচ্ছা, ওকে, গুড। সো তাইলে ইনস্ট্যান্টেনিয়াস ভেলোসিটির ক্ষেত্রে আমাদেরকে এটা মনে রাখতে হবে, the time interval should approach 0. That means it will become closer to 0 but not exactly 0. Okay, so what I said a little bit ago, that whenever the difference is large amount, then we will express the difference by delta, that is the triangular sign. But whenever it is less, see, in less amount of time, less amount of distance can be covered, right? So for less amount, we actually replace it by dr dt. This equation can be written as dr dt. dr divided by dt, no, d ddt. Now whenever you study calculus, the very first thing that you are going to study is this limit sign and then this operator. Okay, here we are differentiating the position vector. Okay, see how we read this in case of calculus. I will give you a little bit of idea. I cannot discuss in details because in physics we cannot actually afford that much time. So here this ddt, what does this mean? R we will discuss later, but d ddt, what does this mean? This is the operator of differentiation. So we will say that differentiating, what I'm differentiating? R, the position vector. Differentiating position vector with respect to time. With respect to time. Okay. Now let me give you another example. Let us say dv dt. Okay. Here v is the velocity. What I can say? Differentiating. The velocity with respect to time. এটা পড়তে হবে কিভাবে বুঝতে পারছো? তোমাদের নিজেরা যেগুলো করতে হবে, নিজেকে বুঝাইতে হবে, সো এগুলো কিভাবে করতে হয় সেটা জানতে হবে। সো ডিফারেন্সিয়েশন, অথবা এটাকে এভাবে বলা যায়, ডিফারেন্সিয়েটিং মানে কি? দ্য রেট অফ চেঞ্জ। এটাকে আমরা এভাবে বলতে পারি, দ্য রেট অফ চেঞ্জ অফ ভেলোসিটি উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু টাইম। দ্য রেট অফ চেঞ্জ অফ ভেলোসিটি উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু টাইম। ওকে, এটাকে পড়তে পারতে হবে এভাবে। এটাকে কি বলতেছি আমরা? দ্য রেট অফ চেঞ্জ অফ ভেলোসিটি উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু টাইম। ক্যান এনিবডি টেল মি what it should be equal to? The rate of change of velocity with respect to time, what it should be equal to?
A. That
এটা কি?
acceleration.
acceleration.
Very good, excellent.
Acceleration.
Remember, this should be equal to acceleration. So the rate of change of position is velocity and the rate of change of velocity is acceleration. In both cases it should be with respect to time, because time যাওয়ার সাথে সাথে তুমি যদি তোমার পজিশন চেঞ্জ করো, that means you are in a motion, you are having some velocity. And with respect to time, as the time is advancing, if you are changing your velocity, then you can say that you are having an acceleration. Excellent, very good, thank you very much. So I think this is more or less clear. Okay,
স্যার ওইখানে differentiating position vector of r না?
ডিফারেন্সিয়েটিং পজিশন ভেক্টর সেটা আর কি, আমি কথাই লিখছি, তুমি চাইলে লিখতে পারো এভাবে যে ডিফারেন্সিয়েটিং আর উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু টাইম টি। তোমার কোশ্চেনটা বোধহয় আমি বুঝি নাই, দেখে আবার বলো তো।
না আপনি শুধু পজিশন ভেক্টর লিখছিলেন না, তো আমি বলছি কি পজিশন ভেক্টর অফ আর লিখতে হবে নাকি?
না না, পজিশন ভেক্টরটাকেই তো আমরা আর দিয়ে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছি। সো হয় তুমি আর লেখো নাহলে পজিশন ভেক্টর লেখো। আরটাই তো পজিশন ভেক্টর, পজিশন ভেক্টর অফ আর না, তো আরটাই হচ্ছে পজিশন ভেক্টর।
ওকে
ওকে, তো তাইলে আসো আমরা পরের পেজে আসি। এখান থেকে আসলে ডাইমেনশন, ইউনিট আমার মনে হয় না এগুলো তোমাদেরকে আর বোঝানোর দরকার আছে, বিকজ আমরা জানি যে ইট ইজ লেংথ ডিভাইডেড বাই টাইম। তো এল টি ইনভার্স, এটা হচ্ছে ডাইমেনশন অফ ভেলোসিটি, and the unit is meter per second or kilometer per hour or mile per hour. Okay, it will be like that. Okay, now in this page several definitions are given. I will just give you a little bit idea because you already know about this. See, there is uniform velocity. Now when can we say that the velocity is uniform? I want to know it from Nurnabi. Nurnabi, tell me when I can say the velocity is uniform. Nurnabi, are you there? Cycle.
Sir, same velocity থাকলে like
Very good. At least this much I could teach. Huh? I thought you don't even know what is uniform velocity. Uniform velocity is when the velocity does not change with respect to time. That means the time is passing, but you are driving at a constant velocity. That velocity is not changing. Then you can say this is uniform velocity. So, in case of uniform velocity, can you tell me what is the value of acceleration?
0
Very good. The velocity is 0. Sorry, the acceleration is 0 because acceleration, what is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity. So if the velocity is not changing, then the rate of changing is 0. Okay, you see here dv, this one represents the change of velocity, and dt, this represents the change of time. If there is no change of velocity, then dv, it will be 0, and let it be 5 seconds or 10 seconds, 0 divided by any number will give us 0 only, right? So this one, okay, so acceleration will be 0. Acha, now we will get acceleration when the velocity is not uniform. That means non-uniform velocity. When the velocity is changing with respect to time, then we can say the velocity is non-uniform velocity, and we will be able to get a value of acceleration. Okay. Acha, then the next topic we have relative velocity. Relative velocity, already, if you remember, I discussed the creative. I don't know if I discussed with you all or not, but Lamia তোমাদের সাথে ডিসকাস করছিলাম, I remember. দেখো, একটা ক্রিয়েটিভ এরকম ছিল যে দুইটা অবজেক্ট একটা আরেকটা থেকে আসতেছে, ওকে, তো কতক্ষণ পরে ওরা একজন আরেকজনের সাথে দেখা করবে, তো সেটা আমরা রিলেটিভ ভেলোসিটি দিয়ে বের করছিলাম। মনে পড়তেছে? একটা ক্রিয়েটিভ কোর্স ছিল এরকম, ফিগারটা ছিল এরকম, এটা 5 মিটার পার সেকেন্ড, এটা ছিল 7 মিটার পার সেকেন্ড, এদের মাঝখানে একটা সার্টেন ডিসটেন্স ছিল যে 1.1 কিলোমিটার। তো কতক্ষণ পরে এরা মিট করবে? তো এই প্রবলেমটা আমরা সলভ করছিলাম s is equal to vt, এইটা দিয়ে। নাও s is the distance between them, time এটা আমাদেরকে বের করতে হবে। what is the value of velocity? We used relative velocity. Now what is the relative velocity in this case?
12 meter per second.
12, very good, because both of them are coming towards each other, so both of them are contributing to reduce the distance between them, right? So we will add the velocity, or I explained you in this way that the original formula to find out the relative velocity is v1 minus v2. Okay, the original formula to find out the velocity, the relative velocity, is v1 minus v2. Now, in this case, what you saw, we added them, but here in the formula it is minus.
স্যার একটা ডিরেকশন অন্য, রাইট? একটা থেকে আরেকটা ডিরেকশন অন্য,
Opposite direction.
আচ্ছা, আসলে তো এটাকে আসলে মাইনাস এই v2 টা মাইনাস কিছু একটা হবে। দেখো v1 টা যদি আমরা 5 মিটার পার সেকেন্ড ধরে নিই, তো এটা 5 থাক, এই 7টা কিন্তু -7 হবে। কেন -7? Because if this direction we consider it positive, the opposite direction it will become negative. So that is why then 5 and 7 it will be added, so it will become 12. Now this same concept, now so it will be added when they are moving in the opposite direction, right? But if they are moving in the same direction,
then it will be minus.
minus will not be there, and the relative velocity is going to be -2, right? So when they are moving in the same direction, that time it will be v1 minus v2, correct? And whenever it is moving in the opposite direction, it will become v1 plus v2. Okay, this is what they have explained here. I request you to go through this last paragraph of page number 122. Okay, see the last paragraph, 122 page. When two objects move along same direction, okay, they're moving along same direction, so it will be v1 minus v2. Oh, there is another aspect from which we can discuss this. Actually, another information rather I should say that I should inform you. Let us say this is that A object and this is B object, and the velocity is v1 and the velocity of this is v2. Okay, so if you are asked that relative velocity of A with respect to B, then it will be v1 minus v2. That means relative velocity of A we want to know, so A velocity will be first, then I will subtract the velocity of B with respect to which I am considering it. But what if you are asked that relative velocity of B with respect to A, then how can you find out? Then it will become v2 minus v1, because here B, the relative velocity of this one we are trying to find out, so here v2 will get first with respect to A, so the velocity of A will be subtracted from it. Clear? Please do not make this mistake, okay? Be very careful. Acha, I guess after that I can directly move to C. See, A is when two objects move along same direction, B is in the next page when two objects move in the opposite direction, and the another case C when two objects move along any direction. That means not in the opposite, not in the in the opposite direction, not in the same direction, but in any direction. Okay, so if it is the case, then how can we find out the relative velocity? We will take a look at that. Now for this we will be using the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. The parallelogram law, if you remember, at a point two vectors were working. Okay, so with these two vectors, considering these two vectors as two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, we used to complete a parallelogram, and the diagonal of that used to represent the resultant, right? So we will use that law now, inshallah. For reference, you can take a look at figure 3.2. Take a look at it and try to understand. Okay. When two objects move along any direction, let us say one object is moving along this direction, another object is moving along this direction. So let us say this is VA and this is VB. Now I want to know the relative velocity of A with respect to B. I want to know this. Then what will be the answer? VA minus VB. Now you know that we prefer the addition law, right? Rather than subtracting, we prefer to do the addition. So how can I write this line? How can I rewrite this line?
BA plus minus PB.
Excellent. Who answered? Lamia. Very good. We will rewrite this line as BA plus minus BB. That means we will do addition BA and minus BB. So BA we already have here, right? If I want to get minus BB, it will just be in the opposite direction of BB, right? So this will become minus BB. This is minus BB, right? So now I can just forget about this BB. I can just add this BA and minus BB. So I can complete a parallelogram taking these two as two adjacent side of a parallelogram, right? And the resultant will be represented by this diagonal, correct or not? Now, how can I find out the magnitude of this diagonal? If you remember, we already studied an equation like this to find out the magnitude of the resultant vector. P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha. Now, P and Q we understood, okay, we will replace by VA and minus VB. But what about alpha? Alpha was the angle between the two vectors, right? So if I consider that this is alpha, now, so this angle will become, what will be the value of this angle?
ওইটা
alpha minus theta.
180 minus উপরেরটা
Alpha will be 180 degree. From 180 degree, I will subtract alpha. Then I will put the value of this angle. So it should be 180 minus alpha. Correct or not?
minus 1.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
সাথে আমাকে বলতে হবে। Okay. So 180 minus alpha. This is going to be the value of this angle. Now we are considering VA and minus VB. So we will just replace the value to find out the relative velocity. The relative velocity, the magnitude is going to be P is VA. So VA square plus VB square. The minus will be vanished because we are doing the square here, right? Remember. Then plus 2 into VA into minus VB into cos 180 degree minus alpha. Correct or not? Because the angle between VA and minus VB is 180 degree minus alpha. So we will put this value here. Okay. So from here we can easily find out the value of what should I say? The relative velocity. Okay. And also, if I want, I can find out the direction and that at which angle it will end. What will be the angle? If you remember, we developed an equation like this: tan theta is equal to Q sin alpha divided by P plus Q cos alpha. Are my writings clear? I think my marker is getting
Yes.
faded. So at any point, if you do not write or if you cannot see whatever I'm writing clearly, then kindly let me know. Okay, I will change my marker, no problem. Okay. So tan theta, from here I can easily find out the value of theta, right? You already got the idea that Q will be replaced by minus VB and P will be replaced by VA and alpha will be replaced by 180 minus alpha. So you can just replace the value and find out the answer. Anybody has any doubt? If not, then we can move to the next page. How many times? Oh, we have less than 2 minutes left. Okay. So I requested for another class. Kindly join. I will not take much time. Okay. I will just discuss about the examples. Maybe it will take 10 or 15 minutes, inshallah. So please join again. I will try to wrap it up as soon as possible. Okay. Join again, please.